Still other picks, opportunities. Other picks like the Rise, the Victor were ones I think T1 were considering here going into this first part of their red side draft, just because they're champs that can side lane really well. I mean, you already know that Sion is going to be on the Rift, so his side laning isn't very strong necessarily. The support position, and Best are going to be locked in. And now the question mark is still between the Poppy and the Pantheon, but Ona's Pantheon has been so incredibly good. I think when you're playing a comp like this with the Rise, you want to have the Pantheon in the jungle because he's going to be more omnipresent. He's going to be able to follow up on the side lanes a little bit better. Should be able to have a decent chance getting through the tanks. Oh my goodness, it's a lot of damage onto Carrier. Viper with that fourth bullet available. Takes it down.
But still, nicely done there is Guma.
Okay, Guma in a lot of trouble here as he's lit on fire. Delight, decent amount here towards the bottom side as Zeus is just trying to play that weak side Sion. And here is the Realm Warp in as Faker off to the side, doesn't get hit by that Q. And in comes Ona to finish him off. First blood going over to the Pantheon as a teleport. Does come through. Actually, Zeka just walking down towards this bottom side as Faker just executes himself, denies the money to HLE.
Zeka trying to get on top of Faker. Uh-oh.
There's Depth Judge, and there's Chain CC. I think he's dead. Yeah. They got him this time. Yeah, they did get him this time, so there we go. 1 versus 1 as far as those kills are concerned. Here on the bottom side of the map, Doran in a little bit of trouble as well, but is able to dash out of the way of the gravity field. For a very safe build here with a Rod of Ages. Not quite full damage. Trying to connect here is okay. They're going to go for the Chain CC. Might be a big in here for HLE to try and get this snowball rolling. Yeah, they might just look to try to somehow get this full turret as they look for owner. Yeah, another hook does come through. There's the audacious charge as Faker is off to the side to make this an actual 2 versus 2. But Zeka comes over to make it 3. Gumayushi a little bit later. The Arcane Storm, not quite enough as the Chains of Corruption comes in and Peanut taxis his way out with the Grump. Knocks it up there as well, but Realm Warp is coming in. Peanut does have to flash with another hook. He's going to come through as Viper has to cleanse as Kerry is back once again. Okay, Keeper's Verdict does get him out of there. Now Faker is the one left alone. Zeus turns up. Enough of that funny business, says HLE. It's Viper that gets the kill.
And
what
this time, yeah, this time T1 is the one trying to heavily overcommit to a play. And they get punished massively.
Yeah, I mean, Peanut initially looks like maybe he has, as we're not done yet. All right, there's Grand Stuffle underneath the turret here onto a gravity field. As Ona, he can't tank the turret anymore, and Peanut in a good position this time. This is going to be a tough one to play out, but now you're feeling so much more comfortable. This could be a little bit dangerous, though, as Doran looking for an opportunity, but the Xin Zhao is here. The knock-up comes through. Wind becomes lightning. There's the knock-up from Zeka. Zeus at the same time as Doran might be able to flash his way out of here, but Zeus is right over the top, looking to try and chase him down. But remember, it's an Ambessa, so he has Zeka moving on in. Peanut with that Wind becomes lightning. Carrier looking for that flank angle, wants to hit the Keeper's Verdict to make this a man advantage for T1 as he finds it. It is just about perfect as now they just single out Zeka. That is going to be killed on the other side though, as both mid laners are now lying in the dust. The curtains have been called and T1 has split the flash forward from Delight as now Zeus turns up to be that monster in the front line. But Carrier is still being a menace. Zeus is looking to lock him down as Gumayushi over the wall is getting the pot shots in. Viper now singled out by Doran, who still has a lot of damage, and Zeus will be cut down where he stands. HLE once again losing a team fight.
They knew that Carrier was there. They were just caught off guard by that ult.
At the end of the day, T1 pulling ahead in this one objective-wise, still down in gold, but it feels less significant as Doran. Public execution goes in as Viper is just going to get executed. They blow him up. And now the Chains of Corruption to hold Zeus in position. The rest of HLE trying to get here, but 2 are already on the floor, and T1 are just happy that they've showed up for the slaughter. The knockup comes in though, and Doran is going to be taken down, but Delight will also be returned as another one. And there
can they find him?
It's Carrier's angle as he just knocks Peanut away. The heroic charge comes in now. The Pantheon comes through as well, but it's not quite as coordinated as we saw last time. Viper fighting against Doran though. Deadly Flourish comes in. They take down Ona. And now Doran finds himself inside the blender, and he will be taken out. Now the curtains have been called. Carrier slowed down. He is out of range of these shots, and now Zeka is 1v1ing against the Poppy and kind of losing. That was scary. And Carrier is able to walk his way out. Still this time, HLE find a fight.
They deny the soul. They also deny, as Delight is on the ward. Do take note.
All right.
No rest here.
Death Charge going to come through here, but Faker just decides he wants to kill Zeus, and he might be able to do so. Gumayusi in a fair bit of trouble as Zeka distracted by the Poppy once again. Viper now looking for an angle. Deadly Flourish, will it be in range? And he doesn't quite find it, but he doesn't need to. It's a double for Zeka, and HLE running away with it now.
A T1.
Yeah, Carrier.
TP.
Yeah, they're just looking for Zeka, and he is a deep TP. He is a long way away from everyone as he flashes towards Ona. The rest of his team is coming up though, and his health bar is pretty high. He's still alive for now. The depth charge comes in, the public execution misses onto this Victor, who is just standing in amongst all of his bodyguards, and now Faker is singled out. It's Zeka's turn to close in. Faker's still looking for that damage, but now the fight is ensuing on the other side. Delight might give himself up, but the knockup is there from Zeus. He's trying to stand in the way, and Zeka might get executed here by Doran. He goes golden, arrow! And Doran is still alive. They take him down as the arrow is going to be there from Gumayusi. As 3 for 3 is the trade. But it is only really the tanky members alive from HLE, and Gumayusi is still terrifying on his signature Varus.
He's got the heal set for a bit of a gap close as well.
Well, Faker is actually just going to try and take down this turret in the mid lane. He will be successful, and remember, T1, they don't necessarily need to go for this.
He wants
but they can, as here's the Keeper's verdict. They do get rid of the Psy on the front line. Is now gone. The Gravity Well is doing so much work here, as Zeka just walks away and lets that Arcane Storm do the work, but it's Gumayusi, it's Faker, and they have so much damage, and they'll get the soul off the back end. Removes that front line, and then they can't do anything about it. They rely so much on having that big tank.
Because without Cyan, there is no one holding Doran back. Doran again finds the ult on Viper, and there is no one to stop him, no one to keep Zeka and Viper safe. And even though, yeah, Ona goes down, who cares? Your Pantheon dying at this point in the fight doesn't matter whatsoever. The backline.
It's ridiculous. In the mid lane, we've got the top laners trying to face off, but Chains of Corruption comes down towards his bottom lane. Delight probably lucky that that anchor didn't land. And T1, the war of attrition is just being won on their side of the rift. Here's the flanking teleport though, as Gumayusi could be in a lot of trouble. He doesn't have his shield, and he doesn't have a whole lot of hope, but he does flash. And the train is not even going to get the stun. The wind becomes lightning, misses. Is the knockup going to be there? The rest of T1 are turning up. Guma's still trying to kite this one out. He finally dies. The knockup is huge there from Delight at the same time, as HLE are trying to fight up Doran on the other side of the fight, and things are going completely wrong for HLE on the top side. Delight trying to get out. The flash in front from Carrier is just gorgeous, and Doran can do no wrong here in Busan.
Very little success in the LCK with.
Wait, I want you to look. Guma should have died.
Yeah, this is
so
insane.
much faster. This can't happen.
You missed.
This can't happen.
The double
miss
miss.
that. The Q gets fast. But you need that ult. He needs to get knocked up, and then Peanut also doesn't follow through on the W. And because Guma lives so long, if they kill him earlier, I think that they have an opportunity to peel off way faster to shift the damage, get cooldowns out, and then on the other end, as mentioned, this Ambassa with Ocean Soul, it is disgusting. The flash from Carrier to ensure that his top laner doesn't get CC'd. The sustain from the passive from Doran, as well as that Soul is...
that was blind as well, kinda.
On the ultimate. I mean, it's a good predict. He knew the trajectory.
Death Dance, baby.
It's a risky call, and he goes for it. A few things miss here, but ultimately I don't think it matters. You know, hitting that flourish would have changed things. Carrier, the bodyguard, and Doran cleans up house. Man, T1 looking better than they have, I feel, all year long. And the microcosm of this series. Drafts that we're seeing, the Poppy coming through.
All right, Zeus, his health bar is looking a little bit large, but let's see how long it lasts. As there's another public execution. Doran getting in amongst 5 people underneath the turret. They haven't gone down just yet, but there's the Grand Starfall. Here is T1, and it's a double already for that man in the top lane. Zeka gonna go golden, and just watch as T1 rolls over the top like this wave that is just attacking them in their base. Viper, yeah, I think probably sticking around on this fountain is going to be the right idea, as T1 will move to match point here and make it possibly a pretty short one here in Busan.
And that bot side play, the power of friendship, T1 have done that exact thing so many times.